Hello, Fremont family. John Gillis with you here again as we continue our journey through the book of Acts. Have you ever read or seen the movie The End of the Spear? It's a true story about missionaries to the Wadani tribe in the jungles of Ecuador. Now, the Wadani are an extremely violent group of people. They're in constant battles with other tribes, so much so that there is concern that the people are going to go extinct. Now, in the story, the 5 missionary men are murdered by the Wadani people. Now, on the surface, their death seems rather senseless. We have these 5 men with all of their training and good intentions and filled with the power of the Holy Spirit. They're murdered by the Wadanis before, seemingly, they can complete their mission. Now, a cursory review of the death of Stephen is somewhat similar. It's a very perilous time for the early church. Let's read a little bit from Acts 8. And Saul approved of his execution. And there arose on that day a great persecution against the church in Jerusalem. And they were all scattered throughout the regions of Judea and Samaria, except the apostles. Devout men buried Stephen and made great lamentation over him. But Saul was ravaging the church, and entering house after house, he dragged off men and women and committed them to prison. Now those who were scattered went about preaching the word. So it seems a little bit on the surface that Stephen, his preaching really only had negative results. It's really the trigger that starts the persecution of the early Christians. But there's something here that is very exciting, and I don't want us to miss it. So what do these people that are scattered do? Do they sit quietly by the wayside, or do they go run and hide? No. The Bible somewhat nonchalantly says that those that were scattered went about preaching the word. So to me, that's pretty amazing that they're facing all this persecution. I mean, they're getting dragged from their homes. But despite that, they go about preaching the word. I mean, this event is really the catalyst for the first missionary movement. So Stephen's death, while on the surface seems tragic, but the Holy Spirit uses this event to spread the word throughout all the nations. So the Bible's make a mention that the disciples stay in Jerusalem. So they stay there to continue their work with the Jerusalem church. So those that are scattered, it's really people like you and me. And I don't know about you, but I often question what my spiritual gifts are. I'm hesitant to share the word with others because I feel like I need to be farther along in my faith journey, that I need to have a more thorough understanding of the Bible so I can just whip out a verse. But if you look at the words of Jesus in Matthew 28, his last words, they're not a request, they're a command. Go and make disciples of all nations. So if we come back to the end of the spear, the death of the missionaries was not in vain. And we're not privy to the plan of God. The Holy Spirit works in miraculous ways. The death of the 5 missionary men is really what leads to the conversion of the entire Wadani tribe. So I have a challenge for you and all of us this week. I challenge you to be more bold, to be more faithful, to do God's will. So I want you all to try to share the word with someone who does not know about Jesus. Good luck, and God bless.